Welcome back to another edition of the Optimized Weekly Market Recap. I'm David Ferreira, Portfolio Manager with Optimized Wealth Management. And as always for today's recap, we'll take a look at last week's activity in the markets, as well as what we're watching for in the week ahead. U.S. equities continued to see gains last week as growth from the tech sector pushed markets higher. The tech-heavy NASDAQ was up almost 3.25%. The S&P 500 closed out the week up in the green, up around 1.6%. The Dow was roughly flat last week, down 54 basis points. The TSX lagged down 1.67% amidst softer performance, specifically from energy and financials. Looking further at sector performance, tech and real estate were the strongest performers, while, as mentioned, energy and financials were the weakest. Looking at the events from this past week, the latest U.S. Federal Reserve meeting saw the central bank leave their policy rate unchanged, with Chair Powell acknowledging that the latest inflation earnings have continued to move in the right direction. We got an update on U.S. inflation as the latest U.S. CPI print was released, showing the rate dropped to 3.3%, the lowest reading since February. Cooling inflation on food and shelter contributed the most to this drop. And on the home front, Stats Canada released a report on Canadian household balance sheets, showing that the average Canadian household debt service ratio had declined over the past quarter, extending the trend to 4 consecutive quarters. This bodes very well for the health of the Canadian consumer amidst higher interest rates. For the week ahead, U.S. retail sales are due this week, with markets getting an important read on the health of consumer spending. On the producer side of things, U.S. manufacturing and industrial production figures are set to be released, offering a closer look at the supply side of the U.S. economy. And Canadian Producers Price Index figures are due on Friday, giving an important look at inflationary pressures faced by the supply side of the Canadian economy as well. A very eventful week in the markets last week, with more to come in the week ahead. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.